which recently had produced the second black Rotary International president, the late Sam Owori. I was his president when he was nominated, but unfortunately we lost him, and this would have been his year as Rotary International president. The hospital is situated in Ngandu, in Mukono, on 10 acres of land given to us by our former past president, George Kasedde Mukasa, whom we lost last year, unfortunately. And the construction of the hospital is going to be in 3 phases. The first phase is almost done, and we expect it to start operating by the mid of July. This year. And that building is now dedicated, is in memory of George Kasedde Mukasa. We call it the George Kasedde Mukasa building. The construction has been effected by Rotarians and friends. No international funding at all. And the building, or the facility, which is going to be the outpatients part of the hospital, is equivalent to a health center 4, according to the Uganda Medical Services categorization. The architectural drawings were done for free by one of our members, Mr. Henry Sentogo, and we're also grateful for very generous contributions which have been made over these years by our fellow Rotarian governor of the Central Bank, Emmanuel Mutabile. We have the Minister David
the Minister of State for Public Service.
He's made very generous contribution on the final touches of the hospital.
So what I hear is that it's entirely Ugandans funding this.
Absolutely.
Oh yes.
And that means there are more Ugandans that can be a part of this.
Oh yes.
Yes. And that's where we come in with the walk that's happening.
Exactly.
Henry, would you like to just take us through the walk?
Okay. We came up with the idea of how do we involve more people? You've knocked on doors, you've got your traditional sponsors who are the big corporate companies, the banks, the telecoms, the manufacturing places, and they will tell you stories of having thousands of letters asking for donations. Now we have to build the second phase. Stephen is chairing this and he's asking for money. So we thought maybe if we could get as little as possible from as many as possible, we could actually do this thing. So how do we attract you, Rita, and Marla, and Joshua, who is here? How do we attract you guys to give something to us? So do something crazy. And said, if we walk a long distance under the banner that by doing this, people will walk a shorter distance to hospital, maybe that would be the thing that would get you to take out your phone and say, I'm giving these guys 1,000 shillings. If a thousand of you do this, if all your viewers here do this, if they do it again and again every day that we're walking, and they're sending us 1,000 shillings, we will raise the money to do this thing. There is money in this country. There's money with people's need. That they value what we're doing, because we're going to provide a hospital that's going to treat a very heavily populated area. On the Kampala Road, right now Kawala has just been renovated. I don't know whether it's operational, but you can imagine, to get an accident there, you have to be brought to Mulago. In these traffic jams, the chances of survival are 0. Okay. Our hospital is less than a kilometer off the road. So we need this hospital, because either us or somebody we know will one day use the services of this hospital. Yes. So we're doing this walk. We start tomorrow, and we are going to have to enter Kampala on Saturday at about 11 o'clock. We have a number of partners who've joined on board. The Sheraton Hotel where we meet. At least we're going to arrive at the car park and have the media there and celebrate the achievement. The New Vision, NTV, NBS have come on board to provide us a social media platform, because we're running this campaign on social media and saying, can we raise money through this? There's so much talk on social media, can we do this? And then there's a new place, it's called Jalia City on Masaka Road. There's a restaurant called Gators. I stopped there for lunch as I was wrecking the road, mapping up our route, and I mentioned it to them, and they said, we'll give you a free meal. Stop by here, we'll give you a free meal. So I want to the guys at Gators, thank you very much for that. But that's what we're doing. So it's a social media campaign to raise money for the hospital.
Yes, now when people talk and hear of a walk, they think there's money they have to pay for this. Because one thing you've mentioned is, if you hear this right now, all you have to do is just send some money, a donation, even as little as 1,000 Uganda shillings. But what about the walk? Besides me bringing my presence and being a part of the walk, is there anything else I have to put in?
Nothing. Your energy, your passion, your faith is more valuable than any money you can give us. But I would like, you raise a good point. On Thursday, we're spending the night in Mpigi. So if you can join us in Mpigi, and we make the trip to Kampala. On Friday, we get to Chengera too late to enter Kampala, and Friday afternoon jam is notorious. So we're going to spend the night in Chengera. And therefore, you can join us there for the last few kilometers into Kampala on Saturday morning. We'll leave that place at 8. We should be at the Sheraton by about 11 o'clock later. So there's no excuse of, oh, I have to work and all that comes with this week. My schedule for this week is definitely taken up.
Could I add in on to that and to your question? There's sponsorship as well. So it's apart from just cheering the walkers, some people, especially members of our club, are sponsoring people who are going to be walking. I am sponsoring, my wife is sponsoring Henry, for example, for 1,000 shillings per kilometer. I'm going to do the 134, so if you have to find some money. And,
wow, that's a lot of
134.
If you come to walk from wherever you do, I'll sponsor you. As long as you tell me you've walked so many kilometers, I'll put money in the hospital kitty, and that will be your contribution. Okay, now you talk about contributions, donations. How do we put in the hospital kitty? How do we do that for someone that's watching? We've provided a number on the poster. We'd like to thank the team at MTN. There's a guy called Davis who made this happen. So it's a mobile money enabled number. So you send it to that and you will see the Rotary Hospital Mukono. So the money you're sending on mobile money is going directly to the hospital, not going to Stephen Luanga or to me. And then you can deposit in our DFCU bank account. DFCU, by the way, is our biggest corporate sponsor. They've given us 150 million over 3 years. I think we've received the first. We received the first tranche. First tranche. So we've got another 100 to come through. Okay, so at this point in time, whoever is watching right now, if you're seeing it on your screen, 134-kilometer walk from Masaka to Kampala, all in a bid to raise money for the Rotary Hospital in Mukono. That image is the near completion outpatient. That's the Kasedemu Kasa building. It has made progress, but there could be more that could be done on that end. And you mentioned one key thing is that it is a long walk, but it will be a shorter walk for someone that has to access a hospital later on in the future. So thank you so much for joining us morning at NTV. And for only 1,000 Uganda shillings, you can be able to sponsor someone. It will be more than 1,000. If all you have is 1,000, a number of people will say it's end of the month. A number of people seem to see the end of the month. As little as possible from as many as possible. Yes. So you are a part of those many. Make your contribution today. I have been joined by the past president, Mr. Stephen Luanga. I beg your pardon. He is from the Rotary Club of Kampala, and Mr. Henry Rugamba, who is the club secretary of the Rotary Club of Kampala. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to take a short break, but Morning at NTV continues.
You're watching Morning at NTV.
Politics bamujje mu security eggwanga lyaffe ligenda kukola ki kufuna obuzibu nze omuntu wa wansi atuula wansi ku ttaka ssebo nze ngenda okuweerera omwana oyo ng'onzimbidde essomero lya kalina nene gavumenti oba eri munkwe etubuzaabuza tekutula eri awo tulaga eno esayidi katale
design katali akati abantu ate kona abantu basalinga badeno nga badene moloka zibabone awantu ataka media tekao sente wetulaba ambulance zetuzibira omuntu nawulira akagombe ka ambulance ngereta mulwadde nalemera mu kkubo.
Giant Uganda Company Limited is the #1 manufacturer of aluminium profiles in Uganda for sliding doors and windows, office partitioning and curtain wall section. Located in Jinja,